Hello and welcome everyone to the Phoenix Rising League segment part that we got here. Not even sure what I'm gonna name it, but if it's named on the YouTube title, then I most likely have not said it here on the video. But it's okay. I'd like to welcome you all to the first video content that I have imagined, I have brought up just from being, as creative as possible. But not just creativity though, something that's gonna be very consistent for the Academy League, something that's gonna also be consistent for the Novice League as well. And as for the Academy League, I hope you all had a great weekend, and hope you loved this side of the segment here that I will be providing for as much as I can and for as consistency that I can, and as much consistency that I can. But before we get started, I'd like to shout out a couple of things before we do this. So we got Rogue Energy. For those of you that know us on the Phoenix Rising League that has been tuned in or on our Discord channel, we have a promotion from Rogue where if you use the code PRL Rogue, you get 10% off of your purchases. But also with that 10% comes along to support us as the league here at the Phoenix Rising League as well. Discounts do stack. So that's amazing. So if you love Rogue Energy, use that code PRL Rogue. Get yourself a discount and help us support here at the league, at the Phoenix Rising. Do not forget to check out our store. So we got a whole merchandise store going on, everyone. So check it out, what we got on the market. We almost got everything, but mainly the clothing line. If anything interests you, obviously you could buy what we got here, but also mainly you could get discounts off of being a Twitch subscriber and off of being a Patreon. There are different levels of Patrons. I know the Immortal level of Patreon is a huge supporter, and also it earns you free merch of your choosing once a month, and it is pretty awesome. If not, just Twitch subscription and you get your discount. Twitch subscription and Patreon do stack, I believe, from what I hear. Yeah, I think so. But anyways, and those links are down below on our Twitch channel. So if you are interested, go ahead and check them out. But for now, this is what we got here. I would like to show you all what is on the forums here today. So what we got here today, it's week number 2, podcast power rankings, make your voice heard. We don't have podcast guests this week for Academy, which is unfortunate. Wasn't able to get any. I don't know if it's just, everyone's so focused, and that's fine. Everyone could be focused on what they're doing. Everyone's here to win. Everyone's here to just try to make it through the regular season for the best possible experience. But let me go ahead and review the forum with you all here. So in the forum, we got something where you can make discussion here, long answers for you to put down. So I'm talking about mind division, body division, soul division, life division, and you can come up with questions and answers for your own self. Or even that, just come up questions that I could possibly answer. Don't forget to also rank each division and each team. Don't forget to rank each team by division here. 1 being the strongest, 8 being the weakest. And there's 4 divisions, obviously, so there's 4 segments of that part. And then nominations. Why not? You can nominate yourself as the best player, but trust me, I've been there. I've watched through all the games. Not really remember the nitty-gritty details of it, and all the way down to the dirt and whatever, to the grain of salt. Not to the grain of salt, but you know what I mean? Like, I just don't remember everything. But I've definitely been there. I've definitely been watching. So you can nominate yourself, or you can nominate the people that you've been watching. This isn't just the forums isn't just here for Academy League or Novice League. It works both. It works both in all ways. Anyone is watching, becoming a big fan, they can put down their input, and just anyone that's just watching and putting down input. That is legit. That is pretty legit input. So obviously I am the editor. I have the responses. The names are down below, but I like to keep them anonymous as well. I personally know the names just so I see who's active, and then later on, depending on their activity, you might get a DM and might be special guest star in our podcast or in our show here. The segment's actually, I could have a guest with me. Why not? But anyways, let's move on. So week 2 of the Mind Division. What did you think here? So definitely, without a second guess, I'm pretty sure this is Zark who put down his. There's only 2 responses here. Top 3 for the Mind Division: Striking Vipers, Mad City, Edoxa. I don't have any complaints there, but the only main complaint and the only major issue I got here from the Mind Division is that Striking Vipers and Mad City, they are honestly at such a different level. It's exciting, and yet it's very threatening. It leaves no chance for anyone to sort of fill in the number 1 and 2 spots. So everyone in my division, to my eyes, is fighting for third, but it's a bit too early to call though, because we're in week 2. So the dark horse is Unmuted Conquest. Maybe not Dark. I am gonna second guess this. Maybe it's not Zark. Maybe it's not Zark, because I'm pretty sure Unmuted Conquest did extremely well. I'm not sure they played Edoxa yet. I have to check that up later. I do have my web browser here, and I don't want to pull it up and show something else. So let's not do that. Other teams don't really matter. It's just between Edoxa and Unmuted for third, and Mad City and Vipers for first. Other teams do matter, to be honest. Everything's in development. Any team can just all of a sudden new players rise up, they get picked up, they're added to the roster, it finishes the synergy, it finishes what's missing in the points to some of the teams out there, and they might come up and sweep the competition. Who knows? It's possible. Death Cards has done it. They did it last split. Death Cards are amazing. Mad City versus Striking Vipers, third seed will be interesting. Exactly my point. Third seed will definitely be interesting, but it's definitely no one's gonna fill the shoes as big as Striking Vipers and Mad City right now. Unmuted Conquest though, in the first game against Mad City in week 1, it was very interesting. I think they had a pretty decent, well-figured team comp, and the way they played the map as well. I think it was just it goes down to very minimal things that happen, but Mad City definitely have so much brain power. It's kind of insane. Like they think ahead of time. They have some really nice plays and how they march over objectives over on the Rift. Body division. Theory Nation, bunch of question marks. Yes, there is something going on. Cheating team winning, what a surprise. All right, no assumptions, please. And if anyone has any questions and concerns, please take it up to staff. We don't need that here, because this does nothing. If there's someone's cheating, fine. Or if there's a suspicion of a cheater or smurfer, that's fine. Everything's okay. The evidence will be proven itself, and they will be proven guilty or not guilty. But doing this right here, I look at it, I can't do anything. Please don't leave it on stuff like this on our content. Let's be proactive, let's be productive on what we could be doing here. So Theory Nation, very big question marks. We'll see what happens to them and what goes on. We shall let staff handle it, but right now Theory Nation are definitely number 1 on the list here. TPG Flare, it's a little bit it's so uneasy. It's so uneasy to see Flare up there. I don't think they had a good game against New Age Sports. New Age Sports is actually on top of Flare, I would say. It's a little bit opposite. It's a little bit runway. TPG Flare, honestly, a favorite here in the League of Legends PRL standpoint, because TPG, who doesn't love them? Hate them, love them. They're amazing. Amazing group of people, amazing organization. To Nova as well, big shout out to him. But right now, I still think it's Theory Nation, New Age Esports, and then AGR. Sorry, Flare. AGR looking great. They could definitely look a lot better. And the darkest horse of them all is Death Cards. Who knows? Death Cards could probably take first, second, or third. That's the capability that Death Cards has. And I can't wait for them to do a huge major comeback. I know week 1 and 2 were a bit shaky for them, but all last season's weeks 3.5 were very shaky for them. But then after that, they kind of came back up on a surprise upbringing, but not sure they're gonna be able to hold on to that. But yes, AGR has impressed, but not sure they have the stamina to make it out. Who knows where Theory Nation will end up with the punishment, but they will have a solid rest of the roster. Yeah. Theory Nation, not even I know. I mean, we will have to wait for that. AGR has been impressive though, and a stamina matters. Stamina matters in this league. 7 long weeks. Who's gonna make it out? Who has enough energy? Who has enough thrive? Who has enough devotion to get that promotion into the top 3 team and to also make their first entrance into the playoffs? Because these names here on the top definitely all but new except for 2, which is TPG, Flare, and Death cards. But amazingly well from Body. Love Body Division, love Soul, love Mind, love everything, and Life. Top 3 for Soul Division. What do you think? Top 3 is Ascension Gaming, Radiar Esports, Premier Esports, and Recon 5 Carbon. Dark Horse is Tempest Gaming, and Dark Horse is Ignitus. The thing about Soul Division is there are 6 amazing teams, and all 6 of them were brought up right here. I think Ascension Gaming, the way they have been piloting the division right now, I mean, these guys, I don't think anyone can catch up to them. Ascension Gaming has been doing extremely well. I know they had part 1 for 2 seasons, and then part 1 with 2 split parts on the last season, which was spring, and they still did amazing. They've been very, very consistent. Obviously, last time in the Soul Division, I think Tea Time a little bit thought, oh, they didn't deserve it to be in the playoffs, but they still went in. They still played their hearts out. Gothboy Click almost eliminated them, I think. And it was just amazing. They played their hearts out, and they still did not get that win. Radar Esports, honestly, they are on a freaking train. I'm not even sure who's going to get on this train. I don't know if you're going to get on the train or if I'm going to get on the train. But Radar Esports, they have the hype train going on right now. They've been going extremely, extremely well. We saw them the last time. We saw them the last time, and maybe the last time. But Radar Esports are coming in again and strong. I am very, very excited to see Radar and to see their progress, to see how they improved. And on top of that, my most favorite player is Axum. Who doesn't love Axum? Axum is amazing. He's done so well. And we'll see how they can continue on forward with that kind of stuff that they got. Premier Esports, big shout out to the Scuffy. I know he's always there. I know he's always chatting with me and, wants to do more content. Maybe I'll bring him in here. Who knows? But right now with Premier Esports, it is just been great. This is the first time we've seen them at their first entry level, rookie level here in the PRL, and I love seeing rookie organizations to see what they can bring out, what they can put into the competition, and Premier Esports, they're showing up. Recon 5 Carbon, sorry about that. There's no room for champions around this time, maybe. I'm not even sure. But Recon 5, they are the same exact team that were champions from last season. And right now they are sitting on 4th, and potentially they could be the lighter dark horse of the season, with the following dark horses that kind of get darker and darker as they go, which is Tempest Gaming and Ignitus. Tempest Gaming, they are coming up huge with the Flare. They really are, and in fact, they are 3-1, and they are one of the top teams. If you look at the standings right now, this is the most division with the 3-1s, with the 0s, and with the 1s. Very minimal. Like, the best teams are getting the best results, but there are going to be 3 that get out of the standing, and it's really, really hard to tell who's going to come out on top. I think number 2, number 3 spots are still open for the taking, and I don't think anyone is going to decrown Ascension Gaming from showing up to being number 1 in their division. Ignitus Esports definitely coming up stronger and showing up even more. Obviously, they got some flaws in them, but, still love them. Hate them, love them, whatever. They have a great set of players. Their gameplay is definitely always a coin flip, so that means they can be very unpredictable. But it's just how they start up on the early split here. Ignitus did well last split, like really well, but they haven't done anything this split. Tempest has way overperformed expectations so far, but this is a cutthroat division where even last split's champions will have troubles even making top 2. That is true. Recon 5 are struggling. They are the champions. I bless them for being the champions. But, man, it sucks to see the other three not able to make it. This comes down to it where three of the best teams that are six of the best teams and three that are still always the best won't make it out. Unfortunate. I think that's always been like that for Soul Division. I don't know. At me about it. Division of Death, but Essential rising above them all. Of course. Division of Death is actually body. That's where Death Cards is. But this, I can see why Division of Death you would name that, because like this any rookie teams, and there's two of them, right? There's Glacial Esports, and there is it Ivy Gaming? I don't think it's Ivy Gaming. I can check it up here. I got my Discord up, so that way I don't pop up anything out of the ordinary. Glacial and 18 Clans. Yeah, they definitely did join the Division of Death, were the most prominent, the most experienced, and the most craziest team is here. And I gotta give big props to 18 Clans and Glacial Esports. Let's see how they can improve with some of the best teams out there. This is honestly the best scrim gyms that they can get at the moment here. Because, you know, these teams are taking it very serious. So this is the point where you can sort of limit test and sort of also put yourself at the limit, put yourself in the driver's seat and watch you go, because these teams are always going to be playing on the driver's seat, and let's see how they can fight them head on. Life Division, week 2 for the Phoenix Rising Academy League. What did you think here for the responses? Gothboy Click, number 1, Cetra Gaming, Milk Mustache Musketeers. I totally believe that. All these three that were named up here have done amazingly well. Gothboy Click did lose to Milk Mustache Musketeers, so it should actually be Cetra Gaming at the top, Milk Mustache Musketeers in the middle, and then Gothboy Click at the end. But I feel like after this first round of the round robins, this is what it's actually going to be ending up to look like at the end there. I'm not sure if Cetra Gaming and Gothboy has played. I feel like they haven't, though. And I will absolutely love to see that anytime soon. The dark horse is definitely Phoenix Rebirth Storm. They did major roster changes and major ups, but you know, as majorly up they are, their game has been at a not a downward spiral, but definitely at the evens there. No one else really has a good shot other than the teams mentioned above. Mine kind of surprised Phoenix Rebirth isn't in top 3. That is very surprising. Phoenix Rebirth Storm, I love them with all my heart. They've done some great work. Their games are always so interesting. But I still have high hopes that Phoenix Rebirth are still top 3 in the division here. I want them in. Who would I have out? I'm not even sure. Maybe Gothboy Click, but Gothboy Click, I mean, these guys are just madmen. Like, you think you have a lead on them? No, they win team fights. It's insane. Cetra Gaming, also a great group. And Milk Mustache Musketeers. So we hardly know them, but they are also a great group as well. And then at the end is who? Ooh, that disrespect. A little bit of a burn there, but I'm not sure who does that one. Who gets out of Soul Division? Name the 3. Alright, so definitely they don't know. Maybe. Oh, okay. That's their own self-answer. So this person thinks Essentia, Rated R, and Recon 5 make it out. So basically you're saying Tempest Gaming is out, Ignite is out, and Premier Esports. So very high hopes for that. We'll see how that goes. Thursday Power Rankings. Let's look at the Power Rankings here. Striking Vipers got 2-1 votes. 2-1 votes, meaning the strongest. And so has Med City. I totally agree with that. That is amazing. The rest have been... Oh, look at that. Edoxa got 3. That is 2 levels difference between Mad City and Striking Vipers. And I gotta totally believe that. I think they are 2 levels, around like 2 or 1.5 level down. But mind you, 1.5 or 2 levels down is a lot. It really is a lot. 2 for 4 on Unmuted Conquest. I think that's a... I don't think so. I think Unmuted Conquest is also at a 3. Or maybe a 2. Somewhere around there. Maybe a 2. But we'll see. Sacramento, they got 2 votes onto 5. 6 votes onto 6 for Chatty Daddy. Blue Rain has 7. And Val players have 8. Yeah, I totally have to agree with that. It's absolutely on point with what people have to say here on the voting. Theory Nation 1 and 1. Okay. New Age 1 and 1. And AGR. There's definitely a difference between these three. I don't think they're all ones, but there's definitely a difference between these three here that are showing up. And then, of course, TPG Flare. Oh, already one? I have to disagree heavily with this one. I don't think they're at a 1. I think they're at a 3 right now with the way they've been playing. And then Ivy Gaming is at a 2. Eclipse Esports, we haven't seen them very often. Very unfortunate. And they are still marked as a 1. I think this person has it all wrong. But, I don't judge on votes. Even though I say I disagree, don't worry about my disagreement. I mean, it's out there. A bunch of ones. I don't think there's a bunch of ones here. TBD are definitely at a 6. Death cards are, I think they're still at a 3, but they're very coin flippy right now. Eclipse Esports, haven't seen them play, just to be honest, so I really won't even give them a toss-up vote there. Ivy Gaming, like I said, a 3. TPG Flare, a 2. TPG Flare, a 3. AGR, a 2. And then these two, a 1. Theory Nation, New Age. Ooh, a lot more voting for Soul Division. I love this. Essentia Gaming, a 1. 5 out of 1. Oh my gosh. To Essentia Gaming. Wow. How'd you get everyone to be so biased on this one? But I do have to agree, though. It's amazing. Tempest Gaming, 1, 2 2s, and 1 1s. I think it's actually like that. I wish there was a bit more 2s because they are around the 1 and 2 mark, I would strongly say. Radar Esports are a 4? Are you kidding me? There's no way they're a 4. No way they are a 4. Recon 5? I think it should be a 2 all around for Recon 5. They're not a 1 and they're definitely not a 3. Premier Esports, I would have loved to see a couple of 1s and 2s right in the middle. Ignite Esports. Come on, they're definitely not a 5 and 6. They are at least a 3 or a 4. I don't think a 5 and a 6. 18 Clans and Glacial Esports. They are in the division of death. 7, 8, 7, 8. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Obviously, they will look bad, but these other teams, these 6 amazing teams, are just also so damn good. Good job, Essentia, with the bias there. I'm just kidding. Setcher Gaming, 1 vote. Milk Mustache, 1 vote. Gothboy, 1 vote. I'm not sure about that. Live Division, as good as they are and as good as they seem, I think even the top teams should be at a 2. Anarchy, definitely not a 1. Definitely not a 1. I think they're a 3 or a 4. Phoenix Rebirth are not a 4. I would say a strong 3. Koala, Frantic Koala Esports, definitely not a 1, unfortunately. Love every team, but Koala Esports, sorry about this, but definitely not a 1. I think you guys are around a 5 or a 6. Flow's definitely a strong 4. They are a force to be reckoned with. They're definitely in the middle of the pack. And then Iceborne Grape Suckers, that could have been them, honestly. 8 to 2. That's reasonable. They haven't been doing all that great. List your top performing players. Terra from Rated Art, Esports, Soul Division. Okay. McTrump and G. Frankini. G. Frankini has been doing so well. I love G. Frankini. I mean, I haven't been on the train, but I've always given G. Friend in my top 10. Him showing up again, it's amazing, and the way he's been playing the Leona is also amazing. There's so many clips of it, and G. Frankini definitely came in really hard. Blazing Bronze. Blazing Bronze did do good. It's the Wizard. I'm not sure about that Wizard. I think you do decently well, but definitely Blazing Bronze does do good for New Age. Night of the Dead and Darth Nahor. Yes. Maybe not Zed, but definitely Nahor. Alcantus, of course. Miss You 3000. Axum, my boy Axum's on the list, and he's on it twice. So is Alcantus. Redhead with Scar. Redhead with Scar did absolutely amazing. let's not forget about that. I love that list. Besides the Wizard and the Zed, but yeah, they all did amazingly well. Oops, sorry about the names list. I don't want to show names. Why are they on your list? Maybe I'll add a break page there. That way I don't scroll accidentally into the names. Seems to always have creative pathing and always gets leads for a team early. I think this one is for Terror, I would say. GM, Giga Smurfer, I don't know which one's that one. Axum is definitely a crazy 1v1 player. All right, so that's it for the form reaction of what we got here. Only 5 responses. That's okay. And it took a little bit of time. Maybe I'll try to speed things up a bit on the next time. But anyways, we'll be right back. Let's go ahead and go on a special interview with Tea Time. See you then. Hello and welcome here to the first interview of my first segment here, Tea Time. How have you been doing tonight in this morning of yourself? But also introduce yourselves and your passions so far.
I'm doing really good, Mighty. It's always a pleasure to be involved in any production done by yourself and PRL. I'm obviously the coach of Essentia Gaming. It's always been something I've been doing it now for. I think this is my third season in PRL.
Yes, it is.
Fourth, actually. No, we're going into my fourth, actually. Fourth,
Oh.
yeah. So I've been doing this for a while. I'm really enjoying it. And yeah, it's just I really enjoy coaching League of Legends. It's not always just necessarily about like getting the wins, but I just enjoy seeing players growing and being part of like that team environment. That's what I really enjoy the most. That's one of my passions, I guess you could say, and why I'm still in this and why I'm still doing it 4 seasons later.
That's very interesting, especially the wins part, because last split in the spring,
The wins.
you guys had 2 teams. No, you ran 2 teams and they both made it. That must have been the first here in PRL. So that's really amazing. You're very consistent.
I think I'm trying to remember other teams that have had 2 in the playoffs. I think Akuma had 2 teams in the playoffs as well. Maybe a couple seasons ago.
Maybe a
but I can't remember. But yeah, we've been pretty consistent. I was pretty happy with the outcome. Obviously, it was sad to not have not to win the whole thing, but I was pretty happy with how both teams did. I think both teams performed pretty well, considering we had 10 players when we did tryouts, so we had maybe, I think it was a bit more than that, like 12, 13 players. And we decided that the crop was so good that we could do 2 teams. And yeah, it worked out really, really well. I think, potentially if we'd combined them, we maybe could have got better results. But, it's not, it's better if, you can include more people rather than just having 5 players involved in the Essential Gaming project. We got to have 10 players, and it was a lot of work for me. But again, I was still really happy with the results from last split.
And talking about the past, when did everything start for you? Being in the Essentia, being the organizer, the coach.
Yeah. Well, coaching is something I've kind of done, but actually in different sports in the past. So when I was at high school, after high school I took a gap year, and during my gap year I did a rugby coaching qualification, and I did a ski instructing, and that was where like the whole coaching thing kind of started for me. And then at university, I wasn't really a gamer. Well, I was a gamer, but not really like mega gamer back then. And then at university, I was playing rugby. And then I think in my sophomore year or junior year, actually, I broke my arm really badly, so I couldn't play rugby anymore. And then I basically used League of Legends and gaming to like channel my competitiveness, because I wasn't really getting it through rugby anymore. And then I realized I wasn't a very good player. Well, no, I was never as good as I wanted to be. And then I got into coaching. So every failed player becomes a coach. I think that's a saying or something. But also, I just enjoy coaching more than actually playing the game. I know a lot of people probably agree that playing the game can be pretty miserable sometimes. So yeah, coaching just was a natural progression for me. And Essential was where I started off as a player, and then there was a change of management, and it ended up in my hands, and since then it's been in my hands. So yeah, that's
Sorry about that. I may have cut you a little bit off there, a little bit too
No
early.
worries.
But any winnings or any games that were just so close. It doesn't have to be here, just mainly in NA. Could be somewhere on your EU side of coaching or being an organizer. Tell me some of the games that were like in the past like that.
The really close ones. Well, definitely most of our closest games were in PRL actually. Like Essentia Gaming has a classic like reverse sweep best of five kind of thing going. I don't know why, but every season it always ends up with a few nail biting best of fives. Last season we had Gothboy Clique went to 5 games. That was pretty intense. I think it was Gothboy Clique.
Yes, it was.
And then every season we've seemed to have these nail biters. The season before that, we had Original went to Game 5. We took Akuba Blades to Game 5 in the first round of playoffs from my first season in PRL, and they went on to win the whole thing. The only games they dropped in the playoffs were against us. So yeah,
I know.
we've had loads of close runs in PRL, and then obviously we had the Game 5 final versus Soulbound. So that was really close as well. And then in EU, we did really well in the Finnish Esports League. It was our first season playing there, and we ended up getting third, I think, in their national competition. That doesn't run anymore, unfortunately, the Finnish Esports League. It's all changed to like some Nordic thing, so looking to get into that in the future maybe. But yeah, in terms of close games, we've had loads, especially in PRL.
And this is a personal one from me to you. Was what made you land here in NA from a EU coach slash organizer?
Um, well, to me, it didn't really make a difference, really. I the one well, obviously one of the main reasons I was in NA was because I was playing in NA while I was at university, because I went to university in the States. I went to UCLA, so while I was out there, obviously I was playing on NA, and that's how I got into playing for Accenture in the first place. So I guess that's the reason. But like nowadays, as long as you're up at night, or as long as you're able to meet the time requirements, you can pretty much do anything internationally because it's all online anyway. So it doesn't really make much difference.
Okay, and as the Accenture Gaming brand and organization, how is that going so far?
It's going really well. Um, Obviously, we had a foray into doing EU national leagues, and I think that's something I would really want to get back to. But for me, the kind of coaching the NA players is a bit of a passion project. I really enjoy coaching this level of play because as a coach, I find it more rewarding because coaching challenger and grandmaster players it's fun, but you're really trying to like squeeze out that extra like 1%, 2% out of players. Whereas in the level we play at with the NA below Masters 100 LP, like you can make a really genuine big impact on how people play the game as a coach, and help them improve like a lot more than you can at a much higher level. So as a coach, it's way more rewarding to be out here. Like you can really see the fruits of your work, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and as we are going into our week 3 soon here on this Thursday, tell me about the new summer season split here. How is that going for you guys at the Essentia Gaming?
For us personally, it's going really well. We're 4-0, which I'm really happy about. But more particularly, I'm happy about the performances across the board. I think we've had so far already in the 4 games, we've had 8 different players play, and I didn't see any real drop off in terms of performance between any of the players that we used, which is really, really, really positive because like one of the things I've always done, you would have probably noticed it not so much last season because we had 2 teams and we were at the limit of the players we had, like we used all of them. But the season before that, I think we ran a 7-man roster. We used different supports. We used Orbit and Laxon. We used JWeb and Striker. So I'm really like about using 2 different jugglers as well. So like I'm really about using like a deep roster, and I was really happy about seeing a very little drop off between all the players that we used, and it's nice to know that we have that depth going into this season on our roster at the moment. And then, generally speaking, how's it going? I mean, it's going well. Like, I think our division looks pretty competitive. There are some teams in here to beat for sure. And I'm just really excited to keep going with it. But from our perspective, essentially, it's really positive. We're only just getting started. We still have a lot of work to do, but we've got. I'm happy with how we're going so far.
And a little bit off of our agenda here, I just want to know the status right now. I mean, like the banter normally has been popping off, but right now, there's no pop off. So what's the status here?
Zark just dominates it, dude. Like, there's no chance for anyone to speak up because Zark's just always there to pounce on them. So it's nice having. Normally, what happens is that Zark or Elvis is on another team, so it's essentially battling them for control of the banter chat. But because Zark's on our team, we just have full control. And I want people to come into banter chat to try to challenge us. That's what I want.
Yeah.
That's what I really, really want.
Name me a couple of favorites, as in teams or players, and not just favorites, but also tell me about the strongest teams so far too in either division.
Are we talking about just players?
We can
Well,
go with
let's
players
start.
first.
Let's start with teams first. Actually, I think.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yes,
It
no
makes it
problem.
easier. It makes it easier for me because then I can narrow it down. So, like, in Thursday division, it looks like we got Mad City and Striking Vipers both doing well. I mean, Mad City lost to Striking Vipers, which I was pretty surprised by, but I'm really happy to see another team like growing and Striking Vipers making progression from last season because they definitely seem to be pulling out better results than they did last season. And I hope it's not because Mad City has got worse. That's what I hope it's not, because I really look forward to taking them on in the playoffs. And then from that roster, obviously you've got Jiggity, Fairshank, Smart Boots. They're all the same players, and they're all really good. I'm not too familiar with Striking Vipers roster. I think Morn was on there, and I remember he had a few really good Elise games last split. But yeah, I'm not too familiar. I need to familiarize myself with them going into playoffs. And then Friday division, I'm really not sure. I don't really know many of them very well. Obviously, they had a bit of a. There might be a bit of a change up in the standings because I know they've got to replay a few matches. But yeah, I'm rooting for Death Cards, and how can you not? Like, Death Cards are just the heroes everyone wants them to be. I want them to come back and do well this split. And then in our division, obviously we've got us, and then I think it's pretty close. Like, you got Recon 5 and Rated R. I think those are the two closest. And then below that, Premier and Tempest, who could also make a really good push for playoffs. And then I'm not sure about the last division. I really don't know anything about life. I'm so sorry, but Phoenix Rebirth are okay, I think, and Cetra, I'm sure they're all fine. But in terms of favorite, yeah, Goth Click. That's right, Goth Click are in there, so hopefully they can do well because I want to play them again in playoffs after we played them last time. But in terms of my favorite players, I think obviously I mentioned a few of the Mad City players, but for me, the ones I enjoy coaching, like on my team in particular, I mean, obviously they're all great, and I don't want to like say that one person's is, I don't have favorites, but like I really enjoy one of the players I really particularly enjoy is coaching is Fancy Italian. He's not actually on our starting lineup at the moment, but he's putting in work behind the scenes. I asked him to swap roles this season, and he did that like pretty much unquestioningly, because I just felt like his play style was better suited for jungle, and just the fact that he was willing to do that, played in our games on Saturday, did really well in both of them. Just performing his role, didn't push the boat out too far, and just did what he needed to do and trust his team. And I was really happy to see that. But then obviously, so it's nice to know that Treebro starting jungler's got a bit of competition, so that hopefully we can push more out of Treebro by having Fancy perform really well. And then obviously I'm really enjoying the additions of Zark and Treebro, the two final boss boys. They add a bit of new flavor to the team. And then generally speaking, I just love coaching Cruiser as well. He's just a great guy. And Alcantos and Laxin are both really, really solid. So I just generally, from my players, it's really hard for me to like single out and say I have favorites. But generally speaking, that they're all great. And then any other teams, I think Axum's really good. I think Axum on Rated R, he's a really stand-up performer. He puts his team on his back a lot of the time. And I just hope since the time when I worked with him a little bit on Essentia, I hope his mental is a lot better and improved, and he can keep being consistently good, because he's definitely a scary top laner, so he's a player to watch, in my opinion, in our division. And then from R5, obviously, you have Tonzo, the legend, the ex-Essentia player. And then you got No Rules, Morningstar. They're all good players, so they'll definitely be a team to watch too. But yeah, I don't really have much to say about Live Division. This is not like me trying to meme or anything. I just genuinely like. I think Hamlet was really, really good when we played him in playoffs, and I hope he can do the same again this season. Definitely one of the best mid laners in that division. But yeah, other than that, not really too sure.
All right.
And J-Web obviously on death cards, he's just unbeatable, like too good. But genuinely, J-Web and Official Nukes, those two players on death cards, both really good. So that's it for my favorite players from the league.
All right. And I believe that's all that I have for you. It's supposed to be a short segment, as short as possible, or maybe not as short as possible. I don't know. Just as long as the points are there, right? So,
yeah.
Thank you for your time. I love you, Tea Time. I always do. I'm pretty sure
I love you, Tea Mighty.
Always do. And I would love for us to do this again whenever, depending if people wants to, right? I'm trying to get this off or on tracks, I guess, in a way. And hopefully anyone that listens or tunes into this part of the segment that is new for the YouTube channel, as a first starting segment, I think it might go good. But if it doesn't, then I'll always be looking to improve. Or, but also if we don't do this again in a regular season, maybe back in playoffs, you know, when we make it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll definitely see that. I've not missed the playoffs yet, so hopefully I can keep up that streak.
All right. And thank you so much.
All right. See you then, Mighty.
Hello and welcome back. Don't forget about our merchandise. I hope you enjoyed what we got here at the Phoenix Rising League. It's been very, very amazing of what we got here and what is in store. So please don't forget to check out our merchandise store in the links below. Don't forget to check out our Twitch links below, our website, our everything links below. Links below. Check the description. You know, happy week. We'll see you all Thursday for the Academy League, and we will end this segment with a definite top plays of the week, or not top plays, but top clips of the week for the Academy League. Hope you all enjoy. Thank you all so much. Remain humble, remain passionate, continue that thrive. See you all in banter chat. Love you all so much. Have a good one.
Ballin is going to try to help out in his 2v2. There he goes. The cycle popped. And as the bad fight, the Death Scraps goes out and is. But not quite yet. Good flash Q there from Drew. Here comes the root as well. Tiny Rice Boy is stuck. There goes Rek'Sai. So yeah, the Jason's he doing a ton of damage. See that? Doesn't have any heal. Oh my goodness. That's rather Petrifying Gaze gets two. Booty gets the pillar up and help lock it down. Nothing really needed, but he can provide a good amount of damage on his own. Got the nice valve off as well, but that's Ezreal actually sticking around, but I think he's more trying to look for fun. No, he won't try to listen again. I really hope that he does not try to go into that pit. Oh wait, but there is also another on here. No true shot barrage, but he's got T-Gap. He gets a kill, but the Baron is secured by Hootie. T-Gap taking up another one. Woozy. His question is Zig's damage enough? Might not be to Goose not get uncontested here. And is chased away by a bouncing bomb. Out goes the view from these crits. Big old pizza coming to get you in the oh my god, wait. TP'd up across the map. And you can have worked before this for a little bit here. While the Cosmic Radiance is up for Tarek. They're going to get it in the I think that might have been the time to use it. Missed opportunity for Head and Company. And now it's going all wrong for Blue Ray. Bobby True Shot Barrage. Left. Wizard hits two with the taunt. Justice punches right back in. Drew is dead meat. Gonna stopwatch to buy himself a little more time. Gets a stopwatch off, but before that, Age King going in with the Flag and Dragon, the Cataclysm, and there's that
we go. Engage all in onto Coconut Drive as assumed it was, but it's actually on top of Zaito, who is going to go out. Malphite ultimate to the back. Aces is there as well. Maybe. I'm not even sure. But Super went for the 1v1. Oh my gosh, okay. Alrighty then.
What are you saying about shooting the roller?
I was wrong. And wow, okay, Axel does not know when to stop giving chase here. Definitely has all priority, taking up a lot of damage, and oh my god, he's still going for it. Axel is about to get a double kill. No freaking way. Sword comes down. Axel on a
More breathing room in this game. We'll see if they can maybe get another.
onto Axum again. Axum does not have flash, but he stands still. That was not the clone. That was the actual Wukong playing dummy. And now they're walking up to a whole 3-man squad here. There goes Terror. The showstopper comes up, and that is a double.
For now, but I will descend and say, I think there'll be more crystal versus, but here comes Ultra coming out of the bottom. 3-man Pop Blossom. Ninja jumping right back in, baby. And they're all over this block. Ultra for the bottom. He's ultimate breaking through. Ice here trying to turn this. Watcher is taking low. He doesn't have access to the ultimate, nor does he have the flash. He ultimately come out there from Greco OP. Now they're going to continue to run in, but move it into place means that Kai can't continue. He's got the